Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sunday Perspective podcast. My name is Dragon. As usual, I have Teledrius. Teledrius, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
And I have Punky. Punky, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
So, okay. Listen, y'all. Today, or tonight, is a special night. Because, yes, as you can see by the title, we have a very special announcement.
Yes, we do.
So, but this isn't gonna come from me. Punky, why don't you go ahead and make that announcement?
We're making a movie.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. We are making a movie locally. It's been like 2 years in the making.
If not more.
Yeah, if not more. Something like that, like 3 years.
Like 3 or 4 years, I would say.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy how long we've been at this project. But yes, we had we can talk about like the parties involved, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
we can talk. Yeah.
So yesterday we had a pretty at length meeting, not with who we're about to discuss talk about, but like amongst ourselves, me, Punky, and Teledrius, and basically, I was even before that. We have now picked up a local theater company that is fully funding and producing our project.
Not fully.
Well,
I'm gonna be helping too. We're all gonna be pitching in and everything.
so okay,
But
mostly.
they're gonna be helping us a lot with the funding and marketing and production and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's that little ember of a project that we had going on. The little embers has now just basically they've just given us the fuel
Mm-hmm.
to turn those embers into a big blazing fireball.
Yeah.
And it's honestly so great because we've been looking forward to this for so long,
Yep.
and we had like very like simple small beginnings, and to have this opportunity is just so great.
Yeah, it really is.
So we're I guess we can talk a little bit about how like we started.
Yeah, I had the idea for this script, like, I want to say like 4 years ago when I was still going to school. Like, the idea came to me, and then it kind of slowly grew from just like my idea of what the first shot would be
Mhm.
to like, okay, here's like a concept, here's characters, here's like the whole outline, and it just kind of grew and grew, and then like eventually I was like, you know what? I think I really could turn this into a film.
Right.
And that's when I decided to get you guys involved.
Right.
And then, eventually I finished, an early draft of the script. And, I was really, hoping that we could make it. But, it's really not an easy thing making a film.
No.
Not at all.
No.
There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
That's for sure.
So, I mean, I was always kind of on the lookout for a company that could possibly help.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe like a couple years ago, no, wait, a year ago, it's about a year ago, I auditioned for Green Buffalo Productions Spooky One Act Festival. And I got along with Ellen and Maddie really well,
Mhm.
and after that I kept working with them on different projects, and then they introduced me to Buffalo Theater Workshop, which is a group. Basically, you send your work in,
Right.
and then they set up a read through
Right.
with a bunch of local actors. So that's what happened. I submitted Look Up, and then they set up a meeting. They actually contacted me on my birthday.
Ooh,
Which
yeah.
was like the best birthday present ever.
Yes.
And it was during lockdown
Ooh.
that I got that message. And so it was really cool. And so we had the meeting, it went really well. It
Mm-hmm.
was really cool hearing it read out loud, and then that's when, you know, talks started happening with Green Buffalo about possibly doing the film, and then,
Right.
you know, after a little bit, it's just kind of grown into like, okay, looks like we're going to be going into production really, really soon, and I gotta, work on the script, get some things finalized, and it's just it. I summed it up as best as I could, our journey through all of this, but it really has felt like it's been so much longer than just a few years. Like this feels like I've been working towards this my whole life.
It feels like an eternity because you've put like so much time, so much
Yeah.
effort, so much like as you said, blood, sweat, and tears into
Mhm.
this project that seeing it come to fruition, like in the early days, it probably seemed like so far away, but now like
Yeah.
we're here.
Oh, I know. It seemed like like a dream that like, oh, maybe I'll someday I'll get to make movies of my own, and
Mm.
now it's like, okay, I wrote a script, and now it's gonna go into production, and I'm gonna be directing. And
Right,
I
just like
mean,
that.
it's just like this is from like the little girl who used to write her own movies when she was a little kid and
Okay.
used to act them out with her friends.
Hmm.
I always dreamed about making movies, and
Right.
now like here I am. I'm actually going to be going into production on one.
And the beautiful thing is that you were even able to find people of of similar background and of similar experiences because uh, both me and Talidris had like those aspirations of being of
Mhm.
working in that crew environment. And well, I can't speak for Talidris, but I have that kind of experience as well. Like I've worked in like a movie management position. I've made a movie before, so like I can, and plus I've taken courses in college that
Yeah.
are specifically designed for like screen acting and that stuff. And just having just having that opportunity is
Mhm.
so wonderful. I'm gonna kind of talk about my beginning. Like I've been with this project since before it was even a script, when it
Yep.
was just an idea. And to see it grow from an idea to now Green Buffalo picks it up, um, and we're gonna have a real production to it is just so wonderful. And it's like I'm not afraid to admit it's a little bit emotional
It
because
is.
for the past
It's
2 years, yeah, for the
mind-blowing.
past 2 years, you've got this little project that you're working on, that you're helping basically shape, and you're kind of being a support to the director and to you who is like formulating this project, and to see it come to life
Mhm.
so in such a big way is just so wonderful,
Yeah.
so great. Anything you would like to add, Telly?
Yeah, like I remember like the very beginning of it, like the announcements of like I remember you probably like told us on like a group chat or something like that you were gonna make the movie, and like I remember like at the very beginning like it was you both like announced it like on the our social media for the movie. I
Mhm.
was like I wasn't there. I had like surgery at the time, and I remember you
Oh
guys were
yeah.
just doing the announcement together. Like you guys were like had the first ever movie meeting. I remember that,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then like when I was healthy enough, we eventually got together and did some movie meetings that same year, and like
Mhm.
we usually do like band meetings and movie meetings like at the same time. It'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one more thing I want to share. I remembered about. I think you brought it up already, but like earlier this year, like during that one point in time, like lockdown kind of period, I
Mhm.
remember Green Buffalo. They were doing that reading thing, and they read the script of Look Up. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh
fun.
yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
That was so crazy to me
Yeah, like I
to
was thinking the whole
Yeah.
time, like this is crazy how it actual like um crew
Hearing
is like reading the whole script, you
yeah,
yeah.
know?
hearing all of these people like playing these parts that I wrote and that you guys are so like become so familiar with, and
Right.
it's like it's just mind blowing.
And the thing about you as a director is that you are so open to just everything that we've
Mhm.
we've wanted to put our hearts and minds into this movie, and you've been so open to us because like uh, I I I got the ability to like make a custom character and inserted into the movie. And also yesterday when we were talking about this whole thing, I was like genuinely touched when you know you upgraded me to assistant director. By the way, that's a thing too that we'll get to in a second. Because that showed me that, like, yeah, okay, there's a huge level of trust here, and it's a responsibility that I need to take seriously, because this is a 2 year project, a 2-3 year project. So this is a carefully crafted work of art that needs the right attention, that needs the right management. Because let me straightforward this way. I've had a bad experience.
Yeah, we did.
Let me talk about that a little bit. Like when I was a director, when I made the movie, the cast didn't take it seriously. Like, very
Right.
simply, like they were just like super like like nonchalant about it. They were doing Nerf wars when they weren't supposed to, just doing things out of line, dropping
out. Yeah.
at the end.
We had to fill multiple, like like one person had 2 roles because of that.
Right.
We had to, like, make it super tricky. Like, we had to, like, not show his face and stuff to keep it ambiguous.
Right. I mean, we had to do what we had to do, but you know what? Here's a second chance. You know, I'm just so, it's just so, so touching that you've given me this second chance to, you know, bring a project to life and actually do it seriously. You know, like it's so cool. This thing is so cool. It's so cool to have. Yeah. Anything else you would like to add?
I can't really think of much else other than I'm just like, I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around it as well.
Right.
You know, making all these edits to the script and, you know, adding some stuff in and just picturing it. Like, I've always been able to picture this film so perfectly in my mind. Like, it's just very overwhelming. You know, it's hard for me to really wrap my mind around that this literally lifelong dream of mine is happening.
Right.
I always dreamed I'd be making a horror film. That'll come along soon. I've already got some ideas, but we'll start with this, and I'll work my way up and get into some horror films.
I mean, honestly, think of it this way: that this movie is just a little stepping stone into a bigger journey.
Exactly. Yeah. This is only the beginning for me.
This is where it starts, guys. This movie is going to film festivals, so this is just the start.
We hope.
We hope.
We hope.
We hope.
We really hope.
Listen, I'm being confident here. Listen, I'm gonna go on record to say, yeah, it will go to a film festival. I will be that bold.
I don't want to jinx it.
Touche. Touche. But yeah,
I'm very superstitious like that.
touche. That's fair. But yeah, this is just a stepping stone.
Yeah.
This is a stepping stone for you to, you know, get into it as a director, and for me and for Teledrius to get in as, like, you know, this management positions, you know, because initially we had like I was a producer. I was more of a production type thing, and to have this it's a big shift and a big responsibility. So it's like a serious upgrade, and you know it has to be taken seriously, because we know the expectations that our director has for us, and you know we just gotta do the best we can and provide the right what's the word I'm looking for? Provide justice to the thing that's written, to the movie, the script that is written. And that's like my biggest thing, is be true to the vision that is provided to you.
Right. We can't lose ourselves in it.
No, not at all. This is truly a wonderful project, because
thank you.
Yeah, seriously. I've always.
This was such a small idea at first. It's so weird to think that I took this small idea of like cell phones and isolation and all this jazz, and then I'm like, I'm gonna make a movie.
Yeah.
That's it's like just one little thought, like,
Yeah.
oh well, what if? And then
Yeah.
it's like, well, what if now?
Yeah.
I write a script.
But here's the best part. Here's the best part. The, the seed in your mind was the right kind of seed. It wasn't the seed of doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the time you see that when people pursue a project like this, they're like, well, what if this doesn't work? What if this happens? What if that happens?
They start second guessing themselves and looking at everything and like, oh, maybe this isn't a good idea. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do this or that. And I definitely sometimes will have thoughts like that, but I'm usually able to I'll take a step back and I'll come back to it and be like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I was just overthinking it.
Right.
You know.
And in terms of like art and stuff, that happens too all the time.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Overthinking, writer's block. Just
we get in our heads.
Yeah.
It's hard to get out of that. For me, meditation is really good for me. That or just like getting away from that for just a little bit and getting like some perspective on it, and then coming back and you're like, okay, I think I know where I'm at right now. I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Got this.
I think that's the most important thing among the thing to not get burnout.
Exactly. Don't force yourself to keep going.
Right.
You know, that's when you can start making mistakes. Like if you feel like you're at like that roadblock in your mind and you can't get past it, take a little break.
Yeah.
It's okay to take little breaks and then come back to it and you're like, oh, I'm good now.
Yeah. I mean, are there gonna be days where you are absolutely shut down and you
oh
have
God,
to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many
yeah.
of those days.
Yeah. I mean,
writer's block is a big deal. It's not easy. You
no,
know?
not at all.
It's really complicated and just a pain in the tuchus.
I love how you're trying to navigate around.
I'm usually much, you guys know my kind of talk.
Yeah.
So
I know.
my best
It's so hard.
maneuver.
It's so hard trying to maneuver around swearing. Listen, that's not gonna be the end of the world if you swore like once or twice. It's fine. No, bad. No, no. But yeah, it's in those moments you have to like kind of, you just have to step back because you can't be like, hey, I can't write this scene, so. Like, I'm just gonna force myself. I mean, sure, you can like drag it a little bit, but if you drag too much, then the scene dies.
Right.
The story's dead. I've experienced it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you don't want that to happen, because I think at some point you were gonna when your project becomes as wide and as serious as ours is right now, like you have to also, I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, you have to also be thinking about not just what the cast and crew is going to expect out of this, but also what the viewer and the consumer is going to expect out of this.
Definitely. I'm always kind of, when I'm writing it, I will try to put myself into the mindset of somebody watching it.
Yeah.
Like just earlier I was working on the script and I got to a part and I was like trying to look at, I was like, before I start writing, let me look at it like I'm watching it as a viewer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe there might be some like misunderstandings in this piece.
Right.
That I hadn't noticed before.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, but somebody watching it is going to see this instead of this. So I'm like, how can I fix that? And then rather than completely changing it, I just added a little bit to it and then worked something into it that kind of made everything more, make more sense to the viewer.
Yeah. Kind of building off of what you said, because like you also have to like reread and reread even more, because like you say, if you wrote a line, hey, the red fox jumped over the fence, from different perspectives,
Mhm.
will interpret that differently. So like again, like thinking like a viewer,
Mhm.
and trying to get all the possible
Right.
outcomes that you can possibly get. Hey,
Mhm.
the red fox could mean this, the fence could mean that, blah blah blah. Like
Mhm.
whatever. So yeah, again, building off of your what you just said, like it's good too, and building on to the overarching theme of this particular subtopic is like kind of stepping back, kind of reading
Mhm.
and kind of just understanding. And I think what helps is that sure you can read the story like as a whole,
Mhm.
but it also helps to like just to read it just as a section,
Yeah.
because that also provides a perspective.
And then also having somebody else come in and have a look see too.
Right.
Cuz like I feel like I don't know if you noticed this. It's kind of funny, but it's cool. It's like when you write something, like say for instance, like there's this story I wrote, a short story. You remember it's Samsara,
Right. Right.
and I wrote it, and there's a lot in there that I hadn't consciously been aware I was putting
Right.
in there
Right.
until after I had people reading it, and they were reading all these things that I put in there, and I'm like, oh, it's weird how like even like when you're writing subconsciously, your subconscious thoughts are getting in there.
Right.
It's like you write something in there and you're like, why did I write that?
Right.
It's perfect.
Right.
you know.
It's like there's a lot of factors in that, like your
Mhm.
mood, your bias, your background. Like we don't realize this,
Mhm.
or sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't. That like even these little like your background, the languages that you speak, or the culture that you have those little like
Mhm.
differences that can pop up, and that makes for an interesting story.
Yeah, definitely.
So here's my question though. With your film, have you written it in a way where a person can get all the perspective in one reading, or is it like, okay, I watched it once, cool. I watched it a second time. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize this before. What is your take?
I think everything that I write is kind of like the latter of what you just
Okay.
said. What was your question?
So
Time
so
bro fog.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. A little brain fart. It happens. So is your movie like the type that we can watch in one go and
Okay,
catch
yeah.
it, or
Um,
yeah?
I think it's always like everything that I write, I think peop I kind of want people to keep coming back to it and notice something new,
Yeah.
something that they hadn't noticed just yet.
Right.
There's something from their first viewing, because I feel like with everything you watch or even songs you listen to, after you watch it again, you are picking up things that you hadn't noticed before.
Yeah.
Because you already know what's going to happen,
Right.
but when you know something is going to happen, you're able to kind of look in other parts of the frames in
Right.
the movie, and you're like, oh, I didn't notice that before because I was focused on this.
Right.
And, oh, this is pretty cool theme. I didn't notice it because this is going on.
Right.
So I always kind of like that, and like almost like peeling off layers and kind of like looking, oh, okay, oh, there's that too, and then that.
Right. I think anything you want to add to Idris? You've been awfully quiet.
Oh yeah, so like with that idea of like writer's block, like it's good to like if to take a break if you ever need to, because you don't want to like force out content because it might not be something you'd really like, you know.
Yeah.
And like yeah, I could even say like for like writing music like we do, like if we have writer's block, we'll just like take a break from writing the song, you know.
Right.
We won't
Yeah.
just like finish it in one go unless like we're really into it. It just comes into us and like we'll finish it then. But like if we have like writer's block, we'll just step away from it, you know.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about this particular project? Like it's in terms of its growth, in terms of the direction it's heading, in terms of like, and I'll post this to both of y'all. In terms of just like the journey that it has taken to come to this point to be picked up by a local theater company. I'm gonna start with Teledris because I initially posted this question to you. So what's your thought on all of these multiple different things?
Well, yeah, I think it's a good thing. I'm excited for it because, yeah, we've been working on it for a long time. It's good to see that like the hard work is like paying off here, and it's good to see that we got the support of like a big group here,
Mm-hmm.
and they can help us out pretty good with this.
Mm-hmm.
Give the we got we have a bright future with the movie now with like this current group here,
Yeah.
and with that, like I guess well the sky's the limit, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. The sky is the limit because with this, we have been given the tools to go from ground level to just shoot right up, and it's so wonderful to have this little door. Well, it's not a little door. Have this door opened for us, and we have tools available to us that we can use at our disposal, and all these different assets that we have. And I'm going to pose the same question to you, Punky. What do you think about the direction that this movie is heading in? The the future of this movie, and the journey it has taken to get to this point.
The journey has been long and difficult.
That is
And
that is
It's
true.
true.
it's still difficult, and it might even get more difficult
Oh, yeah,
once
that's true.
production starts.
Right.
Because making a movie can be very stressful, but I feel like we're going in such the right direction.
Right.
And even with the script, like, I started out with a short, like 10, 15 page script,
Mm-hmm.
but now, like, at that meeting with Buffalo Theater Workshop, and everybody was giving me all these like ideas and input, and maybe you could give more personality and this and that. So I was like, at first I was worried if I add more, I'm worried that I'm gonna lose the integrity of the original script. It's not gonna work, but I don't feel that happening as I'm adding stuff to the script, and everything that I am adding, it feels like it adds to the storytelling. It doesn't take anything away. It doesn't feel like extra or
Mhm.
unnecessary. Everything feels like okay. It feels right.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
the only word I can think of. It just as I'm writing it and I read it and I'm like, that's right. That's just right.
And that again, coming back to your overthinking bit, that's like the perfect thing to have, because when it feels right,
Mm-hmm.
you're not overthinking it.
Exactly.
It's just right then.
It's
That's
just
just right.
Like you don't like yeah. Just
Nothing
right.
can be changed that'll make it any better than it already is.
true, because you don't want to, on something like that, you don't want to go back and like change too much, because then
Mhm.
you could potentially kill the feeling
Exactly.
of
And
what
that's the
you're
last
writing.
thing I would want to do.
I think we've never had a podcast this long. So actually, guys, we're gonna take a quick 2 minute break, gather our thoughts, and we will be back in literally 2 minutes. All right, guys, talk to you in a second. welcome back. So, this music that you just heard, it's a little spoilerino. this
Toss them.
I just tossed my mints across my table. Yeah. So this music, this heard actually. Wow, nice English. That you just heard is actually, we're going to transition very nicely into our soundtrack that we were supposed to talk about it at the beginning of the podcast, but we completely missed. And it's kind of nice that we had the break because we were able to kind of recenter ourselves and find all the topics again, the ones that we missed. So we're going to be talking about this particular music that is going to be a basis of our soundtrack. It's one of our actually I'm gonna let you kind of comment on this before I say
No
something.
comment.
No comment.
No, I'm kidding. The song is called "Only One Thing," and it's a song that we, as a band, wrote. I think we all took part in writing it.
Probably, yeah.
And it's probably one of my favorite songs that we did, and I think that the intro is just beautiful, and I mean, we wrote that song long before this movie script came up, and it was like after I started writing it, I'm like, this song would fit perfectly in the film.
Yeah.
And then I could bring some, recognition to my band.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna do it.
And with this specific song, like I know I've mentioned to Punky that for this I want the audition to be very specific, because the people, because I'm not gonna be, because even though I'm the lead singer of the band, I'm not gonna be singing it in the movie. So I was like very like. I want this to be like very specific because there's a very specific tone that we're looking for that fits this both the softness of the song and does the movie justice, because a wrong voice can
it can really
ruin the soundtrack,
ruin a song.
Yeah. So so I don't know if we can if we can really answer this question, but I'm just gonna ask it anyway. What part does this song play in the soundtrack? Like how is it involved in the project?
Okay, so there's a couple of ways. So first, I was thinking maybe like during some of the transition parts throughout the film, maybe just playing that small intro, but like very soft sounding, almost like you're hearing it in a dream.
Right.
And then there's a character that's playing the guitar and singing this song in one of the scenes, so that's another way.
Right.
And then it's also going to play during the end credits.
If you think about it, like in I know this is not true, but in a weird way, it's almost like a mini musical, which is based around like almost like this song is like a center, almost like a little bit, not.
I wouldn't say musical.
Yeah.
But I mean.
But this song is very much like a
definitely
center
a
point.
big part of the film, for sure. It's definitely a big part. It's you hear it throughout it several times.
Right.
And yeah, so it is one of the constants in the film.
It's not a musical in the traditional sense.
As in people are singing and dancing and you know swinging around the light posts.
It almost kind of reminds me a little bit. I'm sorry if I totally insult you right now, but it almost it reminds me of Mamma Mia, just the way that one group is involved in that movie, because in that movie,
I know that it's all ABBA's songs, right? Yeah. And I mean I love ABBA.
Yeah.
And I keep meaning to watch it.
Yeah.
But I never do.
It's fun. It's really fun. I mean, it's kind of loosely. I think of it like that loosely because it's one song has enough meaning and enough like going on to where it can drive an entire movie, and it is able, because there's like different things going on in the song.
Yeah.
There's like growth, there's like finding yourself, there's like a bunch of these overarching themes that are happening, and it fits so wonderfully, it perfectly, that it's just
It's
right
almost
there.
as if we had written it for this film.
Almost,
Right.
Rather than I wrote this film, we already wrote the song. Yeah, they kind of fit.
Right.
You know, but it really does just fit so perfectly with the story and the character development.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we, and honestly, I would rather us, the three of us, design the soundtrack, because we know.
Yeah.
We know the tone of the movie. We know the tone of the song. And my honestly, my fear is that if I give it to somebody else, it could ruin the mood and the moment and the way the song progresses. Like, sure, it's okay to like have somebody doing a cover of it and we can put it on, but like having somebody total control over that song is just.
Well,
I
I mean, that is still our song.
Yeah.
So I think no matter what, I mean, as far as that song goes,
Yeah.
it's ultimately up to us how it's gonna actually sound, and then we'll probably work with whoever is gonna be singing it. So,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's gonna definitely be a process. I think I'm pretty sure that we're definitely gonna have our band's name included somewhere, because this is literally our song.
Probably at the end of it. When At the
Probably.
end credits, we plan on having the song play, right?
Yeah, the song plays in the end credits.
Yeah.
For sure.
And we'll
Yeah.
probably put like our name of it in there, or maybe somewhere different.
Right.
Yeah, I might try to fit it in somewhere.
We
for sure.
we can do a little bit of like that part, a little bit of the song at the towards the end. We can do like a little part of the intro, just some vocals and piano. Just
I guess we'll see.
we'll see what happens, because I don't know. It's a maybe type thing, but yeah, that's really all we can say about the soundtrack. I mean, apart from that, we're kind of still working out the details.
Yeah.
So like this is really the only thing we have at this moment, because this is like early steps of the movie, because now that we have that door open, now we can be like, okay, now we've got our production part somewhat figured out. Note on the somewhat. So now we can start thinking about other things, like soundtrack being one of them. So now kind of.
Well, soundtrack is probably going to be more of a post-production.
That's true, but like we can kind of just like at least start thinking about it, like be like, it could potentially look like this after production. But yes, you are right. It is a more post.
I'm mostly focusing on just getting the script finished.
Yeah.
That's my main priority right now.
Yeah. So, actually, this perfectly transitions us into our next kind of little idea of our specific roles in the actual movie. Not like on-screen roles, but like what we're bringing to the movie. So I'm gonna let you start off with that one. To be honest, Punky.
Well, I mean, as you guys know, I'm gonna be I'm the writer, and I'm gonna be directing it as well.
Yep.
I thought about starring in it, but I'm like, no, like my first time directing a short film, I don't want to have to be worrying about a performance as well.
Right.
So I'm more just focusing on taking a step back, because I always love acting.
Right.
But for this, I'm going to take a step back and just direct.
Right.
And just focus on that one sole thing.
Right. Because I can imagine it's got to be it's got to be quite like stressful to think about. Yeah.
Very stressful to think about.
To think about like, okay, I'm directing, but oh my God, I am also playing. Like,
yeah,
you know, that's
that would
gotta.
be a lot.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be an easy character to play.
No, not at all.
So I'm mostly just gonna focus on directing it, making
Right.
sure that everything like that my vision comes through,
Right.
and whoever does wind up playing the lead is gonna, you know, they're gonna be. I'm sure whoever it is gonna be great. I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know definitely what you want from this movie, and
Yeah.
therefore you can make the right decision
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, select the right character,
Yeah.
the right person for that job. Be like, um, hey, the three people audition. One of them is cool, but not there. One of them is perfect, and the other one, absolutely not. Like you know, the best about that character to know what person should play that character.
What's funny is because like I actually a lot of what this script is based off of my own experiences and
Yeah.
things that I've been through.
Yeah.
So the main character is almost like a version of me.
Right.
So that was another reason why I didn't want to play the part. I was like, it's too close to home. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be too much, I think, for me to do.
That's fair.
But I mean, I think that like the fact that I was my own, like I was the basis of this character, I guess,
Yeah.
it's gonna make it easier for me to really find the right person to play this part.
Right. Because
But even casting is still a little ways away.
yeah, it's because right now it's in a definite like super duper pre ultra mega production.
Oh yeah, we're still.
Right. So. Sorry guys, I had to close the door because external noise and yeah.
The parental limits.
Yeah. I'm gonna now throw this question to Ledris. What part are you playing in the movie, and what was it like for you the first time you were drafted for this movie, and what part what are you bringing to the table in terms of like, you know, this movie, and like what's your take on this?
So yeah, my new role, it's script supervisor, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So with that, we did just get our new roles recently this Friday. We got the announcement of the Green Buffalo. We're picking it up. So with that, I'm going to be the new script supervisor for the movie.
So what does that mean for you though? Like how are you involved in that? Like are you in charge of like just reading the script to people or to the actors, or are you telling them what they're doing in a particular scene and what they're wearing, what should they be wearing? What's your like involvement in this?
So yeah, with
Look
that-
into the
You want me
director.
to- okay, you want me to- okay, so the script supervisor, in some terms, in other ways, it can be, called a continuity
Yeah.
supervisor, because what they do a lot of the times is, like they will keep an eye on the script and make sure characters know their lines and all of that, but they also make sure that everything is matching up.
Mhm.
So like making sure that one shot from this angle is going to match up with this same shot from a different angle.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make sure everything is where it should be. Everybody is where they should be, wearing what they should be wearing.
Right.
You're almost like kind of like the puzzle guy.
Mhm.
You're the one that makes sure everything is fitting right.
Yeah.
Right.
But of course, that's also on us a little bit too.
Right.
The director and the assistant
Well, yeah,
director.
something we'll have
say,
a hand in.
it's something this continuity is very important in films.
Definitely.
I mean, I think it's something that most people don't think about,
Right.
but it is really tedious sometimes making sure that everything is perfectly lining up.
Right.
That, okay, if this cup is right here in this shot, but we're doing it from a different angle this time,
Right.
it's got to be in the same spot.
Right.
This person that was standing there, they got to be standing just that same way.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know it sounds a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely we're all gonna be working on that together.
I think it'll become less overwhelming when you're actually able to step into that role and take over.
Yeah.
Because once you start doing something, like, say, like even in like regular employment, when you start a new job, it seems
Oh yeah, you feel like
incredible.
I'm never gonna get the hang of this.
Yeah.
That's true.
But like 1 month down the line, you're like, boom,
Expert, know everything.
Right.
bam, yeah. So
Maybe not expert, but you're definitely more confident. Like, okay, I know what I'm doing.
right, like it's a process,
Mhm.
and you have to give yourself time to adjust. Yeah, it's tedious, and definitely my role, which we'll get into a second, that's tedious too. But yeah, you're keeping track of like where everybody is in a scene
Right.
and what they should be wearing, and yeah, and I'm just really summarizing what Punky has
Right.
said, and yeah, it's a process. You gotta trust the process.
Yeah.
And okay, I'll kind of transition into my thing. So yes, so so initially, okay, all right. Well, we're gonna be wrapping up real soon, so I'll get into this real quick. So initially, I started out as a producer type thing, and now yesterday I found out I was the new assistant director, which is absolutely no pressure whatsoever at all. And basically, for all of you who don't know what that is basically I'm the director when the director is not available or cannot actively direct. I'm basically like the to put it in a really crude way, I'm the actor's babysitter.
I guess in a way.
Or, I got it.
I
Or
know.
to Or to put it in wrestling terms, you're the Triple H of the project.
Oh, pretty much, yeah, yeah, pretty much. So it's definitely, I would like to, I would like to probably put it as a COO to the CEO.
Yeah.
Is I think the best
You're
way.
my right hand man.
Pretty much, yeah.
Literally, like
Uh,
my right hand. You're here.
Right here, right here. Yeah, it's totally no pressure though, because like I'm responsible for running the set, and just kind of being the almost well, not the release person, but like the like to make, I can't think of a word for it, but to make the director's job and
Yeah.
life easier.
That's exactly. You're there. You're making my job easier, so I don't have to keep track of all these actors.
Right.
I know they're gonna be there because my assistant director's on it.
Right. Again, acting babysitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very much a serious role to consider, and it's not something to just be like hurdy dirty assistant director, you know? Like it's a very serious role. But yeah, that's what we have so far for you guys. If you guys want to hear more updates, we'll probably release more updates as we are able to release more updates. We are obviously not going to talk about everything on the podcast because some things are classified, like for example plot points and different happenings behind the scenes. We are probably not going to be talking about that stuff, but this will be our source to announce like different things, and we will also at some point, I want to get in Green Buffalo on this podcast at some point if they're down for that. But yes, with that, we're probably gonna say goodbye to y'all. Yeah, and next week, I don't know what topic we're gonna talk about, but yeah, what guests we'll have, but we'll.
Is it gonna be next week or the week after?
The week after.
Is it-
Sorry,
yeah.
yeah, it's a bi-weekly thing.
Okay.
But yes, everybody. I've been Dragon along with Talidris and Punky.
Yeah.
This has been the Sunday Perspective podcast, and thank you so much for coming. And good night, everybody.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.